Hey, Dr. Tom Hansen here at the Play Big Academy in Tampa, Florida. And as we're approaching the kickoff of the very first Play Big Baseball Boot Camp, I want to share some of what I've learned from great players. My doctoral dissertation way back in the early 90s featured interviews with Hank Aaron, Rod Crew, Stan Musial, Carter Strzymski, and I interviewed Pete Rose and other great players, other great hitters, and also great pitchers. I was like, why were you so great? Why were you so great? What is it about you that enabled you to be great, not just for one season, but for a long, like a Hall of Fame career? Well, what I got from them is that they dealt with reality. They dealt with reality better than most players. There's a lot I could go into about what that means and the pros and cons, and I could dissect that. But there's just a couple of things I want to highlight. One is that they really got this. They agreed with what coaches and players say that I've been asking for decades now. What percentage of your game of success would you say is determined by mental game factors like confidence and focus and attitude? Oh, 80%. So, and baseball is a game of confidence, say anyone who's really paying attention. But certainly what I've found, and it's self-report data, is that they'll spend 95% of their time on physical. I got to work on my mechanics. I just got to get stronger. That's it. Muscle up, and that will do it. Well, I don't find that to be a good match. 80% of the success is mental, but they spend 5% on it. That is just failing to deal with reality. So in the Play Big Boot Camp, we're going to really focus on dealing with the reality, not just that the mental game is important, of course, but what's really going on with your mental game. Not, oh, I should think positive. Well, that's like saying, well, you should swing hard. You break down the swing a little bit more than that, don't you? You break down your pitching delivery a little bit more than just let it rip. There's a time for that, but as you break down your mechanics, as in study them and make adjustments, you can throw harder, better, faster. So it is with the mental game. But how do you break that down? The Hansen Play Big profile, and this measures the mental game in a almost freaky kind of way. It's really amazing what this thing can find. I didn't make it up. I helped make the baseball version of it, but it's it's fantastic. Let me just see. And so what's going to happen in the boot camp is you take the profile, and then we go through 6 weeks of training, and then you take it again. And hopefully that's what you're doing here in your off season is you've tested, and now you're going to train, and then you'll test again. If you want to improve something, measure it. So how do you measure the mental game? Here is the feedback of just one of about 17 pages that you get when you take the Play Big profile. And let's just take a look at some of the highlights. I'm not going to break it all down. There's just an amazing amount of stuff just on this page. But let me just say, the first thing you do is you look up here. Like, if would I draft this guy or would I recruit this guy? Boom, yes, I would. Because point 0.8 and point 0.8 on these two scores are, and then I look here, 7.0 is good, 6.9 is good. You want to be 7 and above on those two summary scores, which I'll explain in a moment. But in just an instant, I know, okay, this guy's worth continuing to look at. Not a mental game superstar, but he's got a lot of things that you can work with and build off of. He clearly gets the game well. So understanding what it takes to win is the game view. How well does he see and understand what it takes to win? 7.0. So he's a good baseball guy, and we certainly gets the big picture of the game. So this guy really knows baseball. There's something how he's grown. He's really studies the game. He loves the game, and he's really into it. He is pretty good on his ability to play. So you have how well do you see and understand the game, and then how well do you how much access does he have to his talent? Is he free to play big, or is he all constrained and locked up? So he's solid at controlling his emotions. Could do better there. Relationship with teammates and coaches. He's got good ability, but he's not engaged right now in his team. He's either not on a team or there's other stuff like this one and another score lower that's pulling up his RAM, why he's not more engaged in his team, but he's got the talent to be a good teammate. Something's going on with his mechanics. He doesn't have the relationship I'd like to see with his mechanics. And here suggests that he's not, he's got some things that aren't efficient with his swing, and he's not really giving that the value, the emphasis that it deserves. He's got a few things, he's letting bad things be okay too much, and that's costing him there. here he really understands the big picture of how everything fits together. Like a Jeter would be, I'm sure, a 9 in this one. Really gets the big picture of how everything's related, and he's over compliant with his coach. Like he puts too much emphasis on what his coach says, and gets too upset when anything goes wrong. Again, in the course, I'll explain a lot more about what I mean by that. But let's shift to how his access to his talent. Can his tools play? Pretty good. 6.9. He gets himself. He's a good. His self-worth is strong. He feels like he belongs in the world of baseball, and he's calm and realistic. He's dealing with reality here about how what's going on with these two, which I won't break down right now. But something is going on with his present performance. He is not in a role that he likes. He's not able to play one pitch at a time anywhere near to what he's really capable of. And so this is what I would talk to him about. It's like, well, what's going on right now? This is about kind of about the past. This is about the present, and this is about the future. He's very confident he's going to be a good player. Love this guy for this. I love this score right here because it's like telling me, hey, am I going to be good in the future? He's saying, yeah, 7 and above is very good. He does think, though, that it's going to be a little bit hard. He's got to work hard to get there. And that sounds good, but I don't want that. I don't want him to feel like the path ahead is like wading through honey. You want it to feel like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm neutral here in that it's not going to be all that hard. I need to focus and do my work, but it's not all going to be that hard. So that's the big things here for this guy to work on um, are these two green scores, but he has great potential because I see right here that he can learn this stuff. Once we focus on these things, his performance and his enjoyment of the game is going to take a big bump up in this course. So there he is. He's dealing with reality. Good job for this guy. I don't want to throw him under the bus by revealing him, but I do like him a lot, and know that this thing is going to be really great for him because each week of the course we will go into each one of these big 6. There's 3 big ones on the bottom here, um, the numeric ones. Week 1 is about self-worth. Second is about playing in the present moment. 2, when you think, oh, I know how to do that, yeah, well, there's a lot more to it. And confidence in the future. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. So then he'll take it again, and it'll be great. So obviously, I'm fired up about it. I'd love to have you in the program. Shoot me any questions you might have about it. There'll be information somewhere on this page. And in the meantime, I encourage you to deal with reality. And part of that reality is there's a lot of good out there, and there's a lot of good in you. And I hope you are able to deal with that reality as you play this great but difficult game of baseball.